What is the news? You can ask 1,000 people this particular question, and you will receive in return 1,000 different answers. Harrington states clearly that there is no genuine consensus on the definition of news. What we can state, however, is the ultimate product of news itself. News unhindered in a free society engenders within the human mind a greater perception and ability to conceive ideas, the alleviation of ignorance, and a more developed aptitude to formulate valued and judged decisions. The news functions as a catalyst for us, the human race, to act and in turn have more influence and power over our own fates. Gradually, however, there has developed this notion that the latest generations of the human race care little for the value of the news and are much more self-absorbed. This is true. After much in-depth study, I have come to the conclusion that there is little truth to this statement, and I shall proceed to explain the reasons why this commonly held assumption is nothing more than a mistruth. Over the previous years, the world of traditional news and media has witnessed a general decline. Among the many valid arguments that arose was this line of reasoning that the youth just don't engage with the media anymore. To validate, or in this case dismiss this argument, one must essentially look at the three themes of critical importance: news consumption, news production, and moral panic. In short, it must be understood that the media has not diminished in size, rather the opposite has occurred. With the onset of technology as a means for allowing for greater and more effective communication in society, it became apparent to many that there would be significant effects upon the process of news production and news consumption. Citizen journalism, blogs, social websites, and Twitter act as the new fifth estate, and those discussing political and social issues have their foundations in moral panic. Whereas before news production lay in the hands of the established journalistic bodies of the few, the internet has allowed for the many, or millions, to become part of this information-spewing assemblage. As stated before, the net has created through its existence several new avenues for news consumption, allowing for greater freedom for how we interact with the news. Harrington supports this and compares these technological developments of the rise of the Web 2.0 as the removal of technological knowledge as the barrier to entry into the world of journalism, and in turn blurs the traditional notions of production and consumption. Unlike its online content, however, traditional news has not grown but rather evolved when it comes to the youth. Harrington refers to Blummer, who writes that news as a genre has conflated with entertainment. Shows like The Panel, The Chasers War and Everything, The Colbert Report, The Daily Show, and The 7 p.m. Report are such examples. These shows are showing strong responses among youth and are made for the youth who derive news television-wise. As learned people, we should understand that evolution is essential to personal development, and that, like us, the news is a reflection of our being. Like our technology, the aspect of news has broadened, and so too must our understanding of it. The youth relate differently to news compared to their predecessors. New technologies has made it compulsory and essential for them to rely upon the new forms of online media and news for their consumption, and in turn offer them the opportunity to be a part of its production. Rather than watching the same archaic informational-based news reports that their predecessors watched, they prefer the entertainment-infused news reports, which ironically are superior to their predecessors in terms of critical analysis. News producers have increased tenfold, and so too the number of avenues from which we consume thanks to the online internet. Simply put, news has expanded, and it's the youth are the main progenitors and proprietors of its expansion. Thank you very much.